What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? All right, another day, another dollar. Let's get into it. What's Bitcoin doing? What's the crypto market doing? What can we expect moving forward? We're going to give you every little bit of it, my friends. Ditto, I see you in the chat, man. I see you. What's up, man? Feeling good, guys. Feeling good, feeling great. It's a good day to have a good day. Look at this. Look at this. What does that say? Oh, you can't even see it. It says it's a good day to have a good day, my friends. So make sure you do just that. Let's get into the super chats. Big Kev dropping some cheddar. If you're new to crypto as I am, you have no idea what is coming. That is where Rob comes in. Join the winning team on the Patreon. Let's go. Let's go. Can I get an amen? Absolutely, man. Absolutely, brother. Let's get into the chat. It's the only super chat to start the stream. Wow. All right, let's get it going. H. Barbarina, of course, in the house. I wouldn't expect it any other way. JJ dropping that 7 herbs and spices on me. Hey, Rob, we appreciate you. I appreciate you too, man. Thank you so much, my dude. Thank you so much. What else do we got going on? Bulbasaur in the house. J Money, second Pokemon of the day. What's happening? Technically the first, but I did recognize Ditto first. My apologies, my friend. Gotta catch them all. Quentin, what's up, buddy? DH, what's happening? Joy says, hey, Rob and Patreon family, let's hit the like button. Rob is awesome. What do we have, guys? What do you say? What do you know? 132 people watching. We have 45 likes. Let's get those likes up, guys. Let's smash it, whack it, crack it. Do what you got to do. John, blessings, my friend. Good to see you. Dave, what's up, man? It's a good day, brother. Man, let's freaking go, baby. Ray's in the house. Let's get it. He says, hit the like button. Absolutely. Open mic night for the stars. Let's freaking go. I mean, if there's enough hockey fans over on the Patreon, then I don't mind if you guys have open mic nights over there for the hockey games. Absolutely. But I know Ramona is not going to be available to host all of those, and she's probably not even a hockey fan, to be honest with you. But we'll see if we can set something up if we get enough interest in the NHL season. William, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. My guy, my dude, always punctual. Gamma, there she is. Gamma Goddess in the house. Let's get this money. Amen. Kizza, what's happening, my guy? Zebek listing bullish. Yes, actually 2 listings. I covered the Kraken listing in a video this morning, but there's actually apparently a second listing today. So very, very interesting. We'll see how that plays out. No, I don't think it's really going to dump afterwards because there wasn't really a pump. I think it peaked being up like 10% or something like that. Actually, I have the Zebek chart up, so we might as well have a look at it, right? So looking at Zebek, I mean, we're sitting right at resistance again. We have this double bottom, this W pattern that's getting ready to play out here, right? Now, if we can break the neckline here, my breakout target is up here, way up here between 2063 and 20647, right? So that's going to be the breakout on Zebek. It's breaking through resistance right now. Can we get this move to play out? Now, Bitcoin literally just did this move itself. It's in the exact same structure Bitcoin was in just a couple, like 2 weeks ago. So if we memorize this, okay, you got your double bottom pattern, you've got your drop, your double bottom pattern, followed by your breakout. We're at the neckline right now, getting ready to smash up to higher highs. Well, let's go look at Bitcoin. Let me show you. ZBEX chart is just behind Bitcoin's structure. As you can see, what did we have, right? We thought it was going to be an inverse head and shoulders. It ended up being a double bottom pattern. As you can see, we had the dump, the double bottom, the breakout past the neckline right here. Boom. And there you go, right? So that's what we're looking for on the ZBEX chart right now. The exact same thing is playing out. So very, very exciting for ZBEX. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bitcoin sitting at 120,400 right now. Will we close back above 121,000, this blue line right here? Will we hold that support in this range? Well, I guess we'll find out, right? JNF says, blessings to you and your family. Thanks for all you do, good sir. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. What do we got? JD Beats dropping that cheddar. Dang, 2 days in a row. And Rob, we trust. Can I get an amen to that, man? Can I get an amen to that? What else do we got? Easy says, ZBEX on Kraken next week. When Coinbase, when Binance, absolutely. Here's the thing about Coinbase. That is an eventuality, an inevitability, in my opinion, because, I mean, Coinbase is an early investor in ZBEX. A lot of people don't know that they've actually partnered with ZBEX. So why would they not list it eventually, right? Jake the Snake says, a healthy BTC pullback will smack my... Just get nice. I can't say some of that. Come on. JNF, what's going on? Happy Thursday, fam. Nia's in the house. Nia, good to see you. How you doing? Good to see you. Cody, what's up, my guy? Happy Thursday, crypto fam. Rob, going to the post office to send off a little something today. Finally, had the time off from downtown today. Keep an eye out, brother. You greatly appreciate it. Hey, oh yeah, that's right, Cody. I'd forgotten about that. I'm looking forward to it, brother. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know when it is sent so I can keep an eye on my box number there. El Curto, what's up, man? What do you think alts like Jasmine will top this? When do I think? Probably not till like February. I think Bitcoin's going to top before the end of this year. Alts will top probably January, February. That's my thesis. My thesis, man. There she is again, Gamma Goddess. Thank you, Rob. Sending love to you and your family. Thank you, Gamma. I appreciate you. You're the best, Gamma. You are the best. What do we got? Troyota. What's up, weirdos? Good to see you, buddy. Jared, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone is enjoying the sale today. Damn, I am. Hell yeah. Ethan, Zora on Robinhood. Not a dump after? Well, I mean, yeah, you probably, for that, you probably will, right? So if we go look at Zora here, I actually had Zora pulled up because if you're not a member of our Patreon community, we actually dropped Zora as a gem about a month and a half, 2 months ago over on the Patreon. You got to get over there, guys. You would have got in early on this project, right? Again, I don't understand how some people don't see the value. It's less than the price of a cup of coffee to be a member of our community. And you would have got in early on, I don't know, Zora, for example, ZBEX, for example, Onyx Coin, for example. Not to mention the daily trades that we do and the training that we do on teaching people how to trade. It costs you the price of a cup of coffee, and you're sitting on the sidelines missing out on money. So yeah, Zora with a monster run today so far. What is it up? 31. I got to refresh. 44.5% move. Guys, why are you not on the Patreon at this point, right? Like I said, we dropped Zora almost 2 months ago on the Patreon members. Jake the Snake, digging the lab coat, Rob. When? Nice. WF Capital, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. James, what's happening, man? Happy ZBEX Day. Let's make some money. Amen. Ceiling Fan, what's going on? Can you please help me with Zcash entry? Ceiling Fan, I don't think that you should be buying Zcash at all, period, right? Now, I'm not I'm not fudding the project or anything, but listen, I don't know why. I suspect you want to enter Zcash because it has been pumping, right? Don't do it, my friend. Not financial advice, but for me, I definitely would not recommend it, right? You are going to be exit liquidity at this point, right? You're asking me for an entry point on this. That's crazy. That's crazy. I do not recommend buying this project. Again, I can't give you financial advice. Do whatever you want to do. But I can't give you an entry point on this because I wouldn't be entering this, right? This bad boy was in an accumulation zone for 1,200 days, right? 1,200 days we were in this zone of accumulation. And you have this monster move, and now look at us, and you're asking for an entry point. That's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. I'll tell you what, you want an entry point on this project? If it pulls all the way back down to about $126, $126.50, right around there would be the only place I would even consider taking a position. But even that, I would not recommend at this point, right? This one is, you've missed this one. You had 1,200 days to accumulate down here. All the people who accumulated down here, they're going to dump on you up here. You're going to be their exit liquidity. Don't do it. Do not do it. Oh my God. I just realized I'm not even showing you the screen. Here. Okay. See? Look at this. This whole accumulation zone down here, people were buying. This was your time to buy Zcash. Okay. And now here's the good news. Here's the good news. There are plenty of projects right now that are currently in this mode right here that you can be accumulating right now. Projects like XCN, projects like Myria, right? Projects like Clearpool that have been in an accumulation. Cookie, Tars AI, Moonwell, right? Pith. They're all in accumulation zones right now when you zoom out, and they're all going to have a move like this when it's their turn. So while you missed Zcash, right, there are plenty of projects that are in this point right now. The problem is they're down here doing this, so they're not sexy. So you don't feel FOMO for them. But that's when you should be buying them. You shouldn't be thinking about an entry point all the way up here. That's crazy, right? So enough. I'm not gonna, rant on it too much longer. I'm trying to protect you from yourself here, right? Find projects that are still in this area here that are going to do this soon, right? Again, I just gave you a whole list. XPR, Plume, Cookie, Peak, Swiftcoin, Ondo, XCN, Proppy, Tars AI, like Moonwell, Pit, like so many great projects that are in accumulation zones right now. Rise Above, what's going on, man? Richie Rich, good afternoon. What's going on, my guy? Good to see you. What else do we have? Jake the Snake says, will you say no words if I throw a couple in? Strawberry Dragon dropping some cheddar. Big Mike, got my back as always. Good to see you, buddy. We're getting close to life-changing wealth, Big Rob. Thank you, brother. Hey, absolutely, man. We're getting every day just a little bit closer. What else do we have? I had some Zcash and sold at 120. Now it's pumping. Do you see it pull back soon? Do you think it even gets back? I really don't think it even pulls back to 126, honestly. If it did, maybe I would find an entry point, but I don't think it will. But keep an eye on it. You never know, right? You never know. YouTube watcher, is Jasmine low now at... oh, yeah. Jasmine is in a phenomenal accumulation zone. Yes, Jasmine is in a monster accumulation zone. Yes. John, super fantastic. Carlitos, Rob, how are you, sir? You still think Swift will do good? Yes, I do. I do. Swift, still one of my biggest bags, man. That's why I'm asking you. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Ceiling Fan, I always got your back, my friend. I always got your back. Definitely. Okay, well, we're caught up on the chat, guys. Let's get into the news just a little bit. Let's see what's going on out there. Okay, so analysts give 100 days for Bitcoin. Either a parabolic rally will happen or the bull run will end. Cue the ominous music. Let's go. Chris, 7 Herbs and Spices, dropping that cheddar. Thanks for the hard work, Rob. Thoughts on XYO? I am mega bullish on XYO, my friend. I love XYO. Great project. I love what they're doing. I did a video a couple years ago breaking down their utility and everything. But they are definitely, right now, they're actually in a nice little position for accumulation, to be honest with you. They've been in a little bit of a descending channel here for quite a while. Yeah. Listen, obviously, again, not financial advice, but I believe that XYO right now is in a great position for a breakout. And I think that its breakout move is going to be somewhere around. You're probably going to come back up and retest 1 cent 3 area on the breakout from where we are right now. So a pretty big move coming. I am a fan of XYO. Is Avantis a good entry, or will it go down more? Let me see. Honestly, it's a pretty good accumulation zone right now. I think you may have found a bottom, barring Bitcoin like ripping it to the downside. But I do think that you found some pretty solid support, in my opinion, at 81 cents 6. Yeah, but you're probably going to find resistance on it on a bounce. You're probably going to find resistance around $1.12, right? So not a bad little zone. Mario, I'm here, Daddy. 50 push-ups. Let's go. Get them done. No pain, no gain, brother. All right, let's get into this news. Bitcoin broke the new all-time high by exceeding $126,000 at the beginning of the week, but fell sharply during the week to $121,000. It's now $120,000. As investors await a major surge with the arrival of a bullish month of October, one analyst said Bitcoin is at a turning point. Studying the Bollinger Bands, popular analyst Tony Severino concluded that Bitcoin's next move depends on the Bollinger Band volatility indicator. According to the analyst, the Bollinger Band volatility indicator suggests that Bitcoin could make a parabolic rally or end the bull market in the next 100 days. According to the analyst, the Bitcoin Bollinger Bands have reached record tightness. That's what she said, signaling a breakout in about 100 days. This move, excuse me, I have to cough. Sorry, guys. This move could send Bitcoin into a parabolic rally or trigger a correction that ends the cycle. The analyst said that the record narrowing of the bands will result in a breakout to the upside or the downside. So he's saying it could go up or it could go down. But this may not happen immediately and it may take more than 3 months. The analyst added that currently Bitcoin has not been able to decisively break the upper band level, which has put the market in a waiting position. Finally, the analyst warned that a squeeze on the Bollinger Bands could result in false breakouts, creating false declines or rises before the actual break occurs. I personally think that he's right, but we're going to see that break to the upside. We have not seen Bitcoin top yet. As you guys know, for me, Bitcoin top somewhere between 150, 180,000, somewhere in that range. I feel like that's where Bitcoin's going to top. I have been wrong before. I will be wrong again. Is Jasmine a symmetrical triangle on the daily time frame? Let me see. Let me see. No, it's not. It is in a descending channel, though. Here, let me show you. Let me show you. So we have been in this descending channel for, I'll bring it up on the screen here momentarily. Just wait, just wait. It's kind of sloppy, but so on the daily time frame, yeah, Jasmine's been in this descending channel for quite some time, right? You had a false breakout up here, fell back down inside a couple of times, right? You had your breakout, you could not confirm the breakout, you fell back down inside the channel, and you've been ping-ponging in this descending, falling wedge, whatever you want to call it, right? But it's not a symmetrical triangle. Symmetrical triangle, essentially, would be something, here, let me, so symmetrical triangles, when a project runs up like this, you have this run up, right? So it runs up, right? And then a symmetrical triangle is like this, right? That's a symmetrical triangle. I do have these lessons over on the Patreon as well, but so that's a symmetrical triangle. A bull flag would be when it kind of drops down like that, right? So these are the differences between these structures, right? So that would be a bull flag, right? So yeah, so no, it's not in. This is not a symmetrical triangle. Oh, sorry, that was a bull pennant. The first thing I should do. What was I thinking? Sorry, that was a bull pennant. A symmetrical triangle. Sorry, man. A symmetrical triangle is like this. Sorry, I don't know why I drew a bull pennant there. So a symmetrical triangle is when it just evenly does this, right? There's no structure one way or the, like, there's no, it's just, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter, obviously, and then it goes, right? Sorry. That's a symmetrical triangle. The first thing I showed you was actually a bull pennant, which I'm not sure if I said that or not, but yes. So yeah. All right, let's continue on. Lesson over. Gain, what's up, man? You think by now that BTC is on the upward and breaking all-time high a few times and the bull market's not over. Why they sell altcoins so heavily as soon as Bitcoin drops a little this time of year? Because people panic, right? Because people, they run on emotion and they think that they don't. That's why, in my opinion. Spuds, thank you, Rob, for everything. Thank you for all the early followers on Rob's, so he can keep showing up. Absolutely. Hey, absolutely, Spuds. I appreciate you, brother. Has Cookie bottom, do you think? Cookie. Tried to have this this head and shoulders played out perfectly, and we dropped to the downside. Has it bottomed? I mean, it could technically go lower. You've got your support right here, which was resistance, right? Significant level. That could be your bottom, but technically, you could still drop lower. You could drop to about 7 cents 4, really. In fact, you kind of have a bit of a double top playing out right now, right? You've got a bit of a double top here where you could come down and test 7.5 cents. So, yeah, I would definitely keep an eye on it for an entry point. Are you sure the Kraken listing isn't still going to pump ZBEC? I mean, yeah, it could. It could pump it because there hasn't been a pump yet. So we might, like, the whole buy the rumor, sell the news effect didn't really happen for ZBEC getting listed on Kraken. But we could see liquidity pour into it as it gets listed. So you're absolutely right. We could still see a big pump. It's not guaranteed, but we could see a big pump still. So, all right, let's get over to Squawk Box and see what's going on over there today. The Federal Reserve should not have two mandates. All right.
Some newly released minutes from last month's Federal Reserve meeting showing officials strongly inclined to lower interest rates, with the only dispute seeming to be over how many cuts were coming this year. That's two, or potentially as many as three. The Fed deciding on September 17th to lower interest rates by 25 basis points. Joining us right now to talk treasuries and rates is Kamal Srikumar. He's the president of Srikumar Global Strategies. Would you be lowering rates twice, three times, less than all of that?
Zero.
I continue to say what I've been saying on your program, Andrew. No cut in interest rate at all going back. If anything, they should have been very careful in terms of hiking 1/4 percentage point. I was opposed to the September to December cuts, which took place last year. And I think they said at that time inflation has been conquered and employment is the thing. It keeps rolling, but they never seem to be able to make up their minds. Even this time around, with the minutes being released yesterday, they said they were very cautious on inflation.
Right.
They worry about inflation. Why then were all 12 voting members cut interest rates by 1/4 percent with only 1%?
It sounds like they are trying to balance the stability and inflation story versus the employment story, right? I mean, they are putting more focus on the employment story.
They are, but again, that balance doesn't make sense to me. You have one instrument called moving interest rate up and down. With that, you can only control one target. You have to decide what you're going to control. And if you decide today to control inflation, tomorrow to control employment, and you switch between the two of them.
This has been the great conundrum of having a dual mandate for as long as we can remember.
The dual mandate is an inconsistency.
Yep.
And you need to have, the European Central Bank says it has only one objective, inflation. The Federal Reserve says it has two, and it doesn't achieve either of them. And now, keep in mind, they also wanted to tack on climate control and others. And as the Treasury Secretary now is interviewing candidates, he wants to make sure how the mission creep can be controlled. And I think that is a good point.
Mission creep, but not when it comes to the dual mandate. I think this administration is very much focused on trying to make sure the economy blooms and that the unemployment rate does not go up. But
he is, Becky, yeah. That's very true. They are concerned about the economy weakening and preventing that from happening. That is the president's intention. But the Treasury Secretary, on the other hand, is trying to make sure that the balance sheet increase the Fed has had is reversed. So they have two objectives which are going to run divergent to each other. So if the Fed actually follows what Scott Bessent says, and if they do go ahead and force the Fed to control the balance sheet, that's going to have a negative impact on the economy.
Yeah.
Even if you cut interest rates.
Okay, so let me ask you just a slightly different question. You are arguing that we have a very strong economy, I imagine.
We are having a strong economy on the growth number, but it is employment is not following that.
Right, so my question to you is, how strong is the economy really? Because, you have Jensen on the broadcast, and if you look at the AI piece of it, which I believe is not artificially supporting, but is supporting a huge portion of the economy right now. But if you X out all of the AI spending, you've got a problem, like a real problem. And so the question is, how sustainable, how long do you believe this AI boom goes on for? What does that look like? And if you don't believe that it's sustainable, or you think that there could be a hiccup along the way, given that it's so concentrated, even though it'll spread out into the rest of the economy, then you start to worry.
Yep, there are several parts to your question, Andrew. Let me take each one of them. These kinds of booms never last, starting with the Dutch tulip boom in 1634, lasted for 3 years before it crashed.
Yep.
The price of tulips increased multiple times when people said, what's the value of it? Similarly, AI is going to be a huge, huge phenomenon for us, our children, our grandchildren. On the other hand, what is going to happen is that there are going to be lots of failures on the way as well. Not all the firms are going to do well. So I think AI, you have a lot of promise, and equally you have a lot of hype added into it. So that is I think, the first issue. Once that breaks, and when will it break? I'll just throw a date like 6 months from now that you have a few of the companies which do not succeed on the AI side. And if that happens, it is going to have a stock market wide impact. And as well as look at the economy, the AI related economy is doing fabulously. Non-AI economy is not doing well.
Correct.
And
which therefore raises a separate question about sort of inflationary fears, but also the unemployment piece that I think maybe the Fed might even be worried about.
The Fed should be worried about, but if you go back and look at the Powell speech in Rhode Island in late September, he talked about the difficulty he's facing with stagflation. He never used that word, but it's very clear from the speech that is what is bothering him. Weak economy and inflation still headed upward.
Right.
Keep in mind you have a 2% inflation target and you're running at 3%. And yesterday we had the New York Fed survey of consumers. Over the next year, they have hiked up their inflation expectation from 3.2% to 3.4%. It doesn't seem to me that the Fed is meeting its inflation mandate.
You think it shouldn't have two mandates?
It should not have two mandates.
It should have the one dollar stability mandate.
The dollar stability would be a derivative. You don't look for a dollar stability if you maintain good, orderly monetary policy with a rule.
What's the mandate then?
The mandate is going to be, your mandate, meaning the Fed, is going to be maintaining low and stable inflation rate.
Well, that's what I mean, dollar stability.
Yeah, but if you do that, a stable dollar will follow from it, is what I'm saying. You don't need to target it separately.
Right.
But growth will
I just meant employment or inflation.
The employment has to be done by the U.S. Treasury. That is what they're there for. So why don't you each one have one target and you can do your job better?
He's not wrong. They should only have the one mandate. I would agree with him there. Okay, we're going to keep it going here, guys. I just wanted to show you something real quick. So over in our trading group last night, guys, yesterday, we absolutely crushed another trade on Toshi. We took a short right up here. We hit our target perfectly on a wick this morning. We closed out that position. Absolutely phenomenal, guys. This is how easy we walk you through our trades, our daily trades over in our trading group. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments, guys. You can use the QR code at the top of the screen as well to join our trading group. We have been destroying it over there, my friends. So definitely jump aboard. You are missing out if you're not there. All right, check this out. A little bit of JP Morgan FUD again. So this is kind of I have a little bit of a segue after this, so you know you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. JP Morgan predicts limited inflows for Solana ETF. So Jamie Dimon at it again, trying to FUD crypto, saying that the Solana ETF's not going to do well. Okay, now stick around because again I got a segue for you in this that you're gonna love. JP Morgan analysts predict Solana's ETF, if greenlit, will see $1.5 billion in inflows in the first year, emphasizing concerns around weak on-chain activity compared to Ethereum. This forecast highlights the competitive challenges Solana faces against Ethereum and Bitcoin, impacting investor sentiment and influencing market dynamics in the cryptocurrency landscape. JP Morgan has predicted modest inflows for Solana ETFs, citing weak network activity compared to competitors such as Ethereum. This event highlights Solana's challenges in attracting investment, affecting its competitive standing against Ethereum. So JP Morgan FUDding the Solana spot ETF that is likely coming. Now, I want to show you something here. This is how much you can trust JP Morgan.
On September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
They told their customers not to buy Bitcoin, whilst that entire weekend they were the second biggest buyer of Bitcoin.
Says it's a fraud. It says you fire anyone that buys it. Yes.
And at the same time, his company is buying it.
His company is buying it.
It's just, I mean, so unethical.
My friends, that is how much stock you can put into anything that Jamie Dimon or JP Morgan has to say when it comes to crypto. They cannot be trusted. They're intellectually dishonest when it comes to their assessments of anything in the crypto space. Precious metals trade overheated. Investors to rotate into Bitcoin. Let's check it out. Precious metals are soaring in response to the US dollar debasement, with gold hitting $4,000 per ounce and silver reaching a 45-year high of over $50 an ounce. Gotta love those maples, guys. Still, the precious metal rally may be running out of steam, paving the way for investors' rotation into alternative stores of value assets like Bitcoin and tokenized RWA or real-world assets. Gold, more than 50% rally so far this year, coupled with Goldman Sachs' forecast of $4,900 per ounce by the end of 2026, suggests the metal is overheated, according to Nick Puckeren, founder of Coin Bureau Education Company. He said, quote, after more than a 50% rally in the gold price year to date, attention may now turn to alternatives that express a similar view. These include other metals and commodities, tokenized real assets, and Bitcoin, which remain undervalued against gold. He added that these assets all serve as hedges against fiat currency inflation and geopolitical uncertainty. Bitcoin hit a record high of over $126,000 so far this month, alongside a historical surge in precious metal prices. Meanwhile, investors are losing confidence in the US dollar, which is on track for its worst year since 1973. I wasn't even alive yet. The USD is now on track for its worst year since 1973, down over 10% year to date. The US dollar has lost 40% of its purchasing power since 2000. Market analysts, so if you had $1 million in your savings account in the year 2000, it would now be worth $600,000 when it comes to purchasing power. That is atrocious. That's almost half of your money stolen silently by the government. The risk assets simultaneously, which typically run counter to each other, safe haven and store of value assets usually increase the value when risk assets like stocks decline, and the reverse is also true. So people are starting to rotate their capital from precious metals, gold and silver, into alternatives like, you guessed it, crypto, Bitcoin, ETFs, and so much more. St. John Thune on the shutdown. So this is the latest updates on the government shutdown. Check it out.
Are now more than a week into the government shutdown, and the Senate has once again failed to pass a continuing resolution. Of course, you need 60 votes, so you need some help. Senate Majority Leader John Thune joins us now. Senator, Leader, it's always good to have you on. Peace might be breaking out.
Nice to see you, Joe.
Peace might be breaking out in the Middle East, but what I saw yesterday with some of the players on the floor, things seem like they're even getting worse between Republicans and Democrats on this shutdown situation.
Well, I think what's happening, Joe, is right now it's all about politics, and as Chuck Schumer pointed out in his interview yesterday, this is a big game for the Democrats. He actually said yesterday, every day this is getting better for us. I mean, do you think it's getting better for the troops that aren't going to get paid, the air traffic controllers that aren't going to get paid, for the Border Patrol agents that aren't going to get paid? This isn't a game. This is real. This is people's lives we're talking about. This is the families of the American people, and it's important to get the government open again. We give the Democrats an opportunity pretty much on a daily basis to actually vote to do that. And we have 55 senators, a majority, 55 out of 100 senators, who are voting to open the government. We need 5 more Democrats because, as you just pointed out, it takes 60 to do anything in the Senate.
Senator Fetterman, I guess rumor has it that he was in talking to you. How does this progress? Do you see getting to 60? Did he tell you he's talking to some of his colleagues, Democratic colleagues, about breaking away and maybe doing it? Or did he tell you exactly, what type of commitments Republicans would need to make in terms of the subsidies, the Obamacare subsidies? Is there something sort of coming together you can tell us about?
Well, I talk to a number of Democrats on a regular basis, including Senator Fetterman, and Senator Fetterman has done what I think is the courageous thing and the right thing for the country, and that is voted consistently to open the government back up. But, I'm hoping there are a number of Democrats there, Joe. There are conversations going on all the time. But if this is going to get solved, it's probably going to get solved organically by rank and file Democrats, because their leadership has no interest in a solution. When Chuck Schumer is saying this is getting better for us every day, that's not somebody who wants to see this get resolved. And they are pandering to the left-wing special interest groups out there who have demanded this and demanded this showdown with the President of the United States. And so we've got a bill, as I've said, that's passed the House, that's sitting at the desk in the Senate that we could pass today, put it on the President's desk, he would sign it into law, and this shutdown whole fiasco ends, and people can get back to work, and we can start paying the federal employees who are starting to miss paychecks.
Every shutdown's different. There should never be a shutdown. I agree with you on that, and Democrats know that, and they get high and mighty when Republicans say they're going to do it, but then they're engaging in exactly what they supposedly are against. But this one's different. It does involve some issues that strike deep to people, especially some low-income people that would see subsidies not cover what it used to cover for their health care. They could be left with very big increases. At the same time, Democrats remove the cap on individuals that make up to $500,000 a year on some of these pandemic era subsidies. So, it's broken. Something's wrong. I guess your argument would be this is not the time to fix it. Open the government and then we'll fix it.
Right, that's a year-end deadline, and by the way, that doesn't impact the low-income people you're talking about. These are enhanced subsidies. These are the COVID-era subsidies. This is a COVID tax credit cliff created by the Democrats. They put the expiration date in place, knowing full well that there would be a ton of pressure to try and extend it. But the truth is, what they're asking for here, Joe, is $1.5 trillion in new spending for free health care benefits to be extended to non-citizens. Those are all conditions of the counter proposal that they put out there, which can't get anywhere close to that. That gets 47 votes in the Senate, doesn't get a majority in the House, and wouldn't be signed into law by the President. So the simple reality we have in front of us today is we have a bill at the desk that can open up the government. We can have the conversation about the premium tax credits and the issues that they are raising. And I've said multiple times, we're more than happy to do that. I think there perhaps is a pathway forward on that, but it doesn't happen while they are holding the federal government hostage in this shutdown.
I guess maybe I didn't mean low income, but there are some average people, not wealthy people, that would see some big increases, I think, and that's what has Republicans.
What would happen, Joe, is it would, if we didn't do anything, it would drop down to where it was before they put these COVID-era policies into effect, which would be 400% of the poverty level. So you're talking about 130 grand a year. Right now, with no income cap, there are people who are making $500,000, 600 grand a year who are getting subsidies from the federal government for these policies. So, obviously there is perhaps a solution there that we can work with, but we've got to have some reforms. You can't just open up the cap on this. You can't have lots of people who pay nothing, absolutely nothing, at least some copay, some deductible, something that they pay, because there are literally millions of people on these policies today who don't even know they're covered, because the insurance companies are incentivized to auto-enroll them because they're getting direct payments from the federal government to do it.
Well, there's the reason that so many of these premiums are going up with Obamacare isn't just because of the expiration of the subsidies, and that's part of the problem. The overall ACA needs to be looked at, and at this point, it seems like the president is starting. Is he starting to put some pressure to get something done? And I won't say fold, but to concede to the Democrats. That the way the system is right now, you do need to probably increase subsidies at some point because it's just not working. I mean, healthcare, Obamacare premiums don't pay for the kind of healthcare you're getting right now. It has to be subsidized.
And partly because Obamacare at its core is inflationary. It's been driving up costs. I mean, the fundamental problem here is the underlying program, which again needs to be reformed. And the president wants to do that. The president would like to overhaul Obamacare and give people health insurance that is higher quality and more affordable. But you've got Obamacare now embedded for the last 15 years. The Democrats, again, enhanced these subsidies a few years ago, so there's no income cap on it. And so, yeah, frankly, I think these are all conversations that are ripe to be had, and I think the president is more than open to sitting down and working on solutions that would improve quality. And
so basically, guys, we're still at a stalemate, essentially. We don't have to go through every single topic, but essentially we're still at a stalemate. Democrats blame Republicans. Republicans blame Democrats. We'll see what happens, right? But for now, nothing is going to change. Let's go back over to Bitcoin. Almost back up inside of our little golden pocket here, 120,900, just a little bit. I think we can come back up and close inside of our golden pocket here and continue to range right here. Looks like that's how it's going to play out. So, yeah. All right, guys, listen, I got some coaching calls I got to do over on the Patreon. If you want to get in and book your one-on-one coaching calls or your group coaching calls, jump aboard today. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments, or you can use the QR code at the top of the screen if you want. Easier way to get there that way. We also have a free side to the Patreon, my friends, where you're going to be getting your free newsletters over there, and all of our YouTube content is over there for free as well. Join our trading group. I showed you guys we crushed it on a short this morning on Toshi from yesterday. We absolutely nailed that one. If you want to learn how to trade, guys, all of our courses are free to our Patreon members as well. So get the educational content that you need, book your coaching calls, join our trading group for daily trades, and so much more. And it is all less than the price of a cup of coffee, my friends. Or just join the free side, get the free newsletter, and get all of our other content on the free side as well, all of our YouTube stuff, and so much more. I will be live over on pump.fun in about 25 minutes. So I will see you guys live over on pump.fun as well. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.